Congratulations on your acceptance to San Jose State University, the most transformative university in the country. Why become a Spartan? We are the oldest public university on the West Coast and the founding campus of California State University system. From 130 plus majors and concentrations to Division I athletics to our more than 400 student organizations, SJSU offers a world-class education and a dynamic, well-rounded college experience. Our vibrant community in one of the most unique locations in the world is located in downtown San Jose, California. World-class art and entertainment, restaurants, sports and industry are within walking distance of the campus. The laid-back beach scene of Santa Cruz, the famous sights and sounds of San Francisco, and our majestic redwood forests are all about an hour's drive away. San Jose is the heart of Silicon Valley, home to many of the largest high-tech companies in the world. We truly are one of the most innovative regions on the planet. SJSU is a leader in diversity, and we continue to work tirelessly for equity and inclusion. Rich in history and traditions, but leaders in creativity and innovation, SJSU offers endless opportunities for experiences inside and outside of the classroom. For these reasons and so many more, see yourself here at San Jose State University.
All right, welcome future Spartans to our Next Steps workshop. Congratulations on your admission to San Jose State University for fall of 2025. This workshop will cover how to complete the intent to enroll process, how to register for Sparta Camp orientation, and then address questions you have regarding enrolling this fall. Now, if you have any questions for us, please type them into the Q&A feature below, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. Now, please note that most frequently asked questions are addressed in the presentation, so be sure to pay close attention to the slides. Now, before entering your question in the Q&A. Now, thank you again for joining us. You all saw a quick little video what it actually means to be a Spartan. Now, within the agenda, thank you once again for joining us this evening. This webinar will overview the next steps process, how to register and prepare for Sparta Camp orientation, and then how to cover additional requirements. We will also have a live Q&A at the end to address your questions. Now, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Axel Garcia. I am the non-resident out-of-state international admissions counselor and recruiter. And with me here today, I have my colleague, Santi.
Hi everyone, my name is Santi. I'm an admissions counselor and recruiter. I'm here at San State University, and I go by prefer he/him pronouns. You'll be seeing me at the end of the presentation at the latter half on the second part, where I'll be talking about what comes after the intent to enroll process. But I'll go ahead and pass it back to Axel.
Awesome. Thank you, Santi. Appreciate that. Now, before we dive into next steps, we first will review some terms that will be frequently used throughout the presentation. Now, as a reminder, students should regularly check their MySJSU account for any time-sensitive updates and deadlines in the messages and to-do list items and sections. One of those messages includes the link to the Next Steps website and the Steps to Enrollment brochures. In a nutshell, Next Steps is an online process that students must complete in order to, in a nutshell, Next Steps is an online process that students must complete by the deadline posted on their MySJSU account to save their spot at SJSU. Now, I do want to clarify that at this time, you have been offered provisional admissions, which means that this admissions has been offered based on your self-reported data that you provided on your CSU application. This means you must continue to meet admission requirements by your high school graduation date and meet any additional deadlines in your MySJSU account in order to retain your admissions for the fall 2025 term. Now, one of these requirements is the Sparta Camp orientation, and you may be wondering, what is Sparta Camp? In a nutshell, Sparta Camp is a mandatory 2-day overnight stay in the summer where students will register for classes and participate in multiple activities to aid in their transition from high school to SJSU. Now, we are excited for you to join the Spartan community. However, if you miss a vital deadline, if you do not attend your Sparta Camp orientation, or if you no longer meet the admission requirements, this may lead to a withdrawal of your admissions offer. So be sure to check your messages timely and reach out if you have any questions. Now, I do want to say that commitment is key during this process. Please make sure that you sign in to your MySJSU account at one.sjsu.edu and read through everything thoroughly at least once a week. It is important that you read through every single step of this process and make sure that you get this completed on time. We are here to help. Please don't be afraid to ask us questions. And in addition, I want to clarify that there are no extensions or exceptions for missed deadlines, as we are a very deadline driven here at SJSU. Again, I will say that commitment is key throughout this entire process. If you've never logged into your MySJSU account, you will need to activate it and enable Duo two-factor authentication. Now, step one will be to go to one.sjsu.edu and reset your SJSU1 password. Enter your SJSU ID number provided via email and create your password. If you cannot locate this email, go to sjsu1.sjsu.edu/ID lookup to recover your ID. Now, in step two, it is recommended to download the Duo app on your phone, sign in at one.sjsu.edu, and follow the on-screen instructions to authenticate your account. Now, if you encounter any issues or have questions about Duo, please reach out to our IT help desk at itservicedesk@sjsu.edu or directly call at 408-934-1530. Now, let's go ahead and watch a quick video that overviews on how to enroll in Duo.
Setup for Duo Mobile has been made easier than ever. You can start by installing Duo Mobile from the App Store or Google Play. Next, visit one.sjsu.edu. Tap the menu on the upper right-hand corner, then tap the sign-in button. Have your San Jose State ID and password ready to enter in. Once prompted to set up security methods, tap the Setup button, then tap the Enroll button. After a warm welcome to Duo Security, you'll be prompted to select an option for authentication. Tap the Duo Mobile option. Give the prompt some brief information about your device. Next, confirm that you have Duo Mobile installed on your phone. Keep in mind, activating will differ depending on the device used to log into your San Jose State account. If logging in on a mobile device, tap the Continue button and open the link to proceed to the app, where your account will be added. If logging in on a desktop or laptop, scan the QR code with the app, then open the link. Where necessary, adjust permission for use of the camera. If your account name in the app looks good, go back to the setup prompt and tap the Continue button. Finally, follow the security prompt when completing the login. Send Me a Push will send a quick yes or no prompt to your phone, while Enter a Passcode uses the 6-digit passcode displayed in the app. From here on out, have your phone ready whenever you log into your San Jose State account.
Now, once again, you will need your one.sjsu.edu login information and your mobile device to enable Duo. All of the steps can be found on our RIT website at sjsu.edu/IT/support/firsttimeuser.php, and my team will put that in the back end as well for y'all in the chat. Now, you may be wondering, how do I access your next steps? There are a few ways to do this. You go to one.sjsu.edu and log in to your MySJSU account to view your messages, and you will be able to see the link to directly access this. Then you will need to log in using your OneSJSU ID and password. Alternatively, you can type in Next Steps in the search bar and click on the Next Steps Intend to Enroll tile to log in using your SJSU ID number and password. Now, the third way to access the Next Steps portal is by going directly to nextsteps.sjsu.edu and logging in with your SJSU ID number and password. Now, once you open that message, you'll be taken to the link for the next steps that looks like as you see on screen. Again, you will log in using your SJSU ID and password. If for whatever reason you are encountering any issues or difficulties, please email nextsteps@sjsu.edu. And my colleagues on the back end will also provide this email for y'all in the chat as well. Now, you may be wondering, what are the steps for this process? The first step is to say yes to SJSU, and we'll talk a bit about that more in detail in our upcoming slides. Step 2 is to choose your Sparta Camp orientation, and I want to stress that it is mandatory. Step 3 will be for you to pay your $250 enrollment deposit. Please note that some of you may only be required to pay $180 as a partial reduction of the enrollment deposit. Please note that no refunds are provided even if you do not enroll. Now, please read through everything as thoroughly as possible, and if you have any questions, please reach out at nextsteps@sjsu.edu. Now, once you log in, you will see the next steps page as you see on screen. It outlines all the steps you must take to complete the intent to enroll process. It shows you your SJSU ID, the term that you've given provisional admissions for, and the major you have been given admissions to. You will also see the amount due for your enrollment deposit. In addition, you can also download a copy of your admissions letter and view additional requirements such as the pre-calculus proficiency assessment and Tower ID card. Please note that you will receive an admissions packet in the mail and have received a virtual packet in your MySJSU messages. So please be sure to keep an eye out. Now let's go ahead and start with step 1, saying yes and completing the intent to enroll. Be sure to review the terms, conditions, and expectations thoroughly. The linked admissions materials will direct you to our steps to enrollment brochures and checklist, both previously sent through MySJSU. As you will see below, you must acknowledge the major you have been admitted to when indicating that you plan to enroll this fall. Please note that you cannot change your major at this time. If you are interested in changing your major, you will have an opportunity to speak with an advisor at your Sparta Camp orientation to learn more about the process. Now, once you are ready, go ahead and click yes to complete step 1. If you decide that you actually don't want to attend SJSU and are going to attend elsewhere, that's perfectly okay. However, if you change your mind and decide that you do want to attend San Jose State University, as long as you haven't completed the withdrawal, then you can click reconsider and click yes, and then finish the remaining steps by the intent to enroll deadline. Now, if you are set on your decision and you do not wish to attend San Jose State University, we completely understand and we wish you all the best in your academic career. From here, you would go ahead and click on officially withdraw, state the reason, and click on withdraw my application. However, please keep in mind that if you officially withdraw, you have forfeited your place at SJSU, and if you decide to come back, you would have to reapply for another term. It will not be for the fall of 2025, so please keep that in mind. Now, moving right along, now that you have said yes, we can move on to step 2, which would be making a reservation for Sparta Camp. And that's when we'll go ahead and bring my colleague Santi out from the depths of Zoom.
Perfect. Thank you, Axel. Hi, everyone. So for your step 2, you will be doing your Sparta Camp orientation. So once you click step 2, you can review the available sessions for your mandatory 2-day overnight orientation. I cannot stress enough that this is a mandatory for you to attend Sparta Camp. If you do not attend, leave early, or arrive late, this may lead your admissions offer to be withdrawn. Be sure to discuss the dates with your parents and guardians before registering if you do think that you're going to be at a vacation or you're going to be out of the country or out of the state during those times. There's also a in-person parent and family orientation offered concurrently, which is optional. It's not required for parents, but it's a nice option for those parents if they want to view what it is like to be a Spartan. Now, if you do have any questions, please email frosh-orientation@sjsu.edu. Now what happens at Sparta Camp orientation? There is a mandatory 2-day orientation that will introduce you to our campus and its resources, your college and major department, and provide you with academic planning information. A confirmation message and its instructions will be sent 1 week prior to your orientation date as overnight in the university. As is a 2-day session. Students will stay overnight in the University Housing Services dorms. Overnight housing accommodations will be provided to students, including a pillow and a blanket, 2 sheets, a pillowcase, and towel/washcloth. There are a few things you can do in order to prepare for Sparta Camp. The first is to check your My SJSU, and it all goes back to your My SJSU. Make sure you've read all messages thoroughly, met all the deadlines, such as completing the Sparta Link module that you will get access to in May. Once on the day of your orientation, you must bring a copy of your registration confirmation and are recommended to bring any relevant documents such as a copy of your transcripts or AP, IB, or CLEP scores that you are using to meet college credit. In addition, if you are in need of any accommodations, please reach out as soon as possible, no later than 2 weeks prior to your Sparta Camp orientation. Now, after you complete step 2, you will be prompted to then immediately complete step 3 and pay your enrollment deposit. Please note that if you do not pay the required fee, your spot in the select Sparta Camp orientation will not be reserved. The non-refundable enrollment deposit is $250. However, if you're eligible for a partial reduction based on the information you provided on your application, then this will automatically show you on your account and you will only be required to pay $180. Now, after all 3 steps are complete, you completed the intent to enroll process. Congratulations. Be sure to print out your orientation reservation and enrollment deposit receipt, as well as review the information on your additional requirements and optional parent and family orientation. Now, let's go ahead and dive into first looking at orientation reservation. There's an example of your confirmation. Please print and save a copy of your Sparta Camp reservation confirmation. It includes information such as what to bring, the date and time of your orientation, where to check in and park, what to expect, and who to contact for any concerns. It also includes information on the optional parent and family orientation if your parents would like to go ahead and do that orientation for themselves, which runs concurrently during your orientation. Now, parent and family orientation provides an opportunity for guests to learn more about SJSU and how to play a supportive role in helping their students succeed. Topics discussed include information on registering for classes, academic requirements, SJSU policies and procedures, and a lot more. To register, please visit the new Student and Family Programs website or contact mystudentis@sjsu.edu for any questions. Now, moving along to what are extra requirements. The first year writing and math course placement. First, these are not admission requirements. I would like to reiterate that they're not admission requirements, but they are academic requirements. First year students entering SJSU will complete an online reflection on your college writing exercise to explore writing at San Jose State University and to choose the course they need. They will be offered through Canvas, SJSU's online course tool, and will be available at the beginning of June. This activity must be completed at least 2 weeks prior to your Sparta Camp orientation in order to register for your English course. So make sure you look at what your reservation date is and complete that within 2 weeks. Your math placement is dependent upon your major and your enrollment category. To determine your math course placement, you will go to sjsu.edu/supported instruction. You will then click on the first year course placement, then click on mathematics/quantitative reasoning course options. Review steps 1 through 3 on the site to determine both your math enrollment category and which math course to enroll in. Now, students entering into a calculus-based major, just as computer science, engineering, you will need to, if you have not already earned credit for calculus, will be required to take the pre-calculus proficiency assessment. If you are required to take your online pre-calculus proficiency assessment, you will see it listed in your next steps under the additional requirements. You will also receive a MySJSU message, which instructions for accessing the PPA through Alex through the tool. If you have one of the following exceptions shown on the screen to the PPA requirement, you must email proof of that to the testing office at testing-office@sjsu.edu, or in addition to sending official test scores and/or transcripts to the university. The exceptions are if you have an AP Calculus score of 3 or higher on the exam, you have completed a community college/university level pre-calculus or calculus class and got a grade of C- or better, or have taken a CLEP pre-calculus or calculus score exam and scored 50 or higher. For more information, any questions you may have, please visit testing office website at sjsu.edu/testing or email testing-office@sjsu.edu. Now, the next required is providing a photo for your Tower ID. Your Tower ID is very crucial for a student because it will allow you to go into the academic buildings that are closed off to the public. You must submit your photo for your Tower ID card at myid.sjsu.edu by June 1st. The photo must be a current colored photo, no pets, friends, etc., where your face is fully visible, no sunglasses, mask, hats, or head coverings unless for religious purposes. Examples and further information on the photo requirements can be found at myid.sjsu.edu. Pretty much it's a passport photo. If you have taken a photo for your passport, is pretty much the same thing. We reserve the right to refuse any photo that does not meet these guidelines. For questions, email myid@sjsu.edu. Now, as a new student, you will need to provide proof of immunization prior to the first day of classes to avoid delays of housing applications if you are interested in living on campus, class registration, and or participating in separate programs. For more information on this, including the required immunizations, such as those shown on the screen, please visit sjsu.edu/immunizations or email immunizations@sjsu.edu. I would also like to say that those are the requirements are not for all students, only for specific students. So if you're going to be living on campus, you do need the ones at the bottom right there of that screen. If you're going to be 18 years of age or younger, you must submit proof of a hepatitis B immunization, and any other required ones will be shown on that website, sjsu.edu/immunizations. Now, San Jose State is committed to creating a safe, healthy, and supportive learning environment free from discrimination and harassment. In compliance with the CSU non-discrimination policy and the federal mandates such as Title IX, the Clery Act and VAWA under its Campus Sexual Violence Elimination Act provision, all incoming SJSU students are expected to complete an online training of Title IX and sexual assault prevention, as well as the alcohol and substance abuse prevention. Students will receive a message in their My SJSU when the two required trainings for undergraduate students will be available and how to access them. For any questions, please contact Title IX Education at sjsu.edu or visit sjsu.edu/wellness. Now, hopefully you have been taking notes. It is a lot of information, screenshots, or jotting down your questions. As mentioned, in addition to being sent through your MySJSU account, we also are mailing home your admission letter and steps to enrollment checklist, and you all hopefully should have received it already. Now, which looks like this. Now, be sure to take a screenshot and review all mailing and messages carefully. Please also note within a week of completing the intent to enroll process, the one we're talking about right now, you will be able to access your new @sjsu.edu email address, pretty much your student email. This email account will be accessible through one.sjsu.edu by clicking on My Email. It is important that you check this account as well, as information such as campus resources and opportunities is often set there, so don't miss out, because all the time, or once you complete that intent to enroll process, within 2 weeks of receiving that, all information will be sent over to your SJSU email automatically. Now, for international students, the checklist is already shared in My SJSU and very similar, within additional notes to remind you to purchase the required health insurance, request that your current school transfers your F1 electronic record into the SEVIS database to San Jose State University, and register for your Global Spartan Welcome. Now, if any of you are interested in applying for housing, the application for housing is open already. There is a variety of options in our campus village, Spartan Village on the Paseo, which is an amazing off-campus opportunity for students. It's about a 5-minute walk from campus, as well as our international house where you could live with students from all around the world. Be sure to view the University Housing Services website for more information on the application, fees, and housing tours. The deadline to apply for housing is May 1st, just like the intent to enroll deadline. Now, check your My SJSU account for any time-sensitive messages and outstanding to-do list items. Make sure to turn in all final official transcripts by the posted deadline on July 15th. This also includes any passing test scores for your AP, IB, or CLEP exams, as well as community college transcripts. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure that those transcripts are sent in by that July 15th deadline. Every high school is different. Make sure to talk to your high school, talk to your counselors, and ask them how the high school sends in those final transcripts. Sometimes high school counselors ask you to fill out a survey at the end to let you know or to let them know where to send those high school transcripts to, what schools you want to go to, as well as either through Parchment, that can be done as well. If you want to send it in yourself in person or you want to send it in through mail, you can go ahead and send it into that address right there. Make sure it's in the original sealed envelope, or if you want to hand it in person as well, you can do so as well in our Student Services Center on campus. Same thing in the original sealed envelope. Now, if you have college credit from an AP, IB, or CLEP exam, or community college course, it is recommended to bring a copy of your transcript and passing test scores with you during your Sparta Camp orientation. Students will register for courses at their Sparta Camp orientation with the help of their College Student Success Center. You can also view the advising directory for their contact information. You can also preview your degree roadmap and available courses using the course tool. Excuse me. If you have taken any college courses or having passing scores of AP, IB, or CLEP exams, you can visit transfer.sjsu.edu to see how the courses articulate and how the test credit applies, whether how many units, to what class it will articulate into, so you can get a sense of what you have already completed with those exams. Lastly, we have tutorials on our e-advising tools, which you will learn more about during orientation. At catalog.sjsu.edu, this includes your degree roadmaps as outlined by semester for the next 4 years for which course to take, as well as My Scheduler, a tool to generate a schedule personalized to you. Now, how to access your @sjsu.edu email. You may receive additional information on requirements or opportunities sent to the primary email you have on file in My SJSU, which typically is sent to your brand new @sjsu.edu email account. After you complete the next steps process, you can access your email at mail.sjsu.edu and by logging in with your SJSU ID number and password. It will ask you once you go to that website to log in using that ID that you have and that password. Now, if you have not already done so, be sure to fill out the financial aid application or FAFSA or the California DREAM Act. The extended priority did pass on April 2nd, but if you have not done so, please do so. Please also note that the financial aid is not dispersed until the fall semester has begun. You may have some questions. When am I going to get financial aid? When is it going to be dispersed? It's not going to be dispersed until the fall semester. You can also check out our scholarship website at sjsu.edu for more information on the tips for applying to scholarships through the Scholarship Universe account, resources for international students, and SJSU-specific scholarship application deadlines. Now, should you accept your admissions offer, you are a Spartan for life. SJSU is truly committed it's truly a community of support where whenever you turn to someone, it's ready to and willing to help you with our alumni association and for many of the alumni working in the fields that you may be interested in working at. Now, some final reminders before we move to the Q&A. Due to space limitations in many SJSU departments, you may not change your major before the term starts. Know that changing your major is also not, it is possible, but it's also not guaranteed. All students must attend their Sparta Camp orientation. If you do not attend your Sparta Camp orientation, you risk your admissions offer being withdrawn. For any questions, please email new student and family programs at froshorientation@sjsu.edu. or my student is at sjsu.edu. Now going back to that change of major process. During your orientation, another important reason why you need to go to your orientation is that's when you will be able to first speak with an academic advisor to be able to tell you what the change of major process is once the fall semester starts, what are the requirements for some majors, because some majors do have requirements to change into that major, and of course, when to choose your classes. Now, our next frequently asked question is about deferrals. Your admission offer is only good for the fall 2025 term. You cannot defer to a later term. If you want to not go for fall 25, you withdraw your admissions, you will have to reapply for the next available term. If you have any questions or concerns with any of these next steps, please email nextsteps@sjsu.edu as soon as possible prior to the deadline, prior to this Thursday. And also engage on campus. Be sure to engage with campus. If you haven't already done so, take a campus tour. We have Saturday tours available. I don't know, maybe we have some anymore, but you can view them on our website at sjsu.edu/soar or in an email that was sent to you back, I believe, in May or so, or sorry, in like March, and it's titled Visit SJSU, and it's a specific email link to admitted students for our admitted student campus tours. If you want to do a last minute campus tour before that May 1st deadline, you can go ahead and use that link to view what the availability will be. If you would like to review the workshops or revisit the workshops, review the recordings, or register for our upcoming events, be sure to visit our website, sjsu.edu/soar, SOAR. Now, at this time, we will now address your questions in the Q&A. I will go, give me a second. And then I will also
I see the first question.
Perfect.
One of the first questions I see here says, what is the deadline to submit the intent to enroll? So the deadline to complete the intent to enroll process is May 1st. So please keep in mind that we've been reiterating this throughout the entire presentation, that we are a very deadline-driven school here at San Jose State. So again, the deadline to complete the intent to enroll process is May 1st. Please keep in mind that today is the last session that we will be hosting in terms of workshops. You can have access to our previous workshops on our website, but today is the last day that we're going to be hosting a workshop for y'all live here at San Jose State.
Perfect. The next question I see here is, where do I access next steps? You can access your next steps link through your MySJSU message, or you can go to one.sjsu.edu and search for next steps. Intend to enroll and log in with your SJSU ID number and password. Your third option is to go directly to nextsteps.sjsu.edu and log in with your SJSU ID number and password.
Another question I see here says, I have trouble accessing my account and enabling Duo. Now, two-factor authentication, or MFA for short, is a second base layer security to your SJSU One account. If you need assistance with Duo, please contact our IT help desk at itservicedesk@sjsu.edu or go ahead and call at 408-924-1530. I will say that calling them is their preferred method of how you can reach out to them specifically. Please go ahead and follow the instructions shown at the link in the chat. Now, if your account is locked, then you will need to call the IT help desk to verify your identity and unlock your account. So please plan accordingly.
Perfect. Another question I see here is, what is the difference between Sparta Camp orientation and is it required to stay overnight? Sparta Camp is your mandatory orientation. Once again, is mandatory. If you do not attend, arrive late, or leave early, you risk your provisional admission offer being withdrawn. Please be sure when choosing your day on step 2 of the next steps to save your confirmation. This will have all the information you will need to see the date, time, location, and contact information for any questions.
All right, let's see here. Says, what vaccinations or immunizations are required? So all new students will need to provide proof of immunizations prior to the first day of classes to avoid delays with housing applications, to class registrations, and or participation in programs. For more information that requires immunizations, please visit our website, sjsu.edu/immunizations, or email immunization@sjsu.edu.
Another question I see here is, when is the deadline to submit transcripts? Very important question. You will notice on your to-do list items in your MySJSU account that you have a final transcript. If maybe not on there, you will soon have it due by July 15th. This must be an official transcript from your school, whether sent digitally or sealed in the mail. To make sure you can So make sure you talk with your counselor or your school's registrar to ensure that it's sent on time. If you took any community college courses or passed any AP, IB, or CLEP exams, please also send those by July 15th.
Let's see here. Another question that I see is which majors need to take the PBA? So calculus-based majors, which expect students to be calculus ready, taking calculus 1 their first semester requires students to complete the pre-calculus proficiency assessment, or PPA for short. To see which majors require this, you can go ahead and visit our website, sjsu.edu/supported instruction, and then go ahead and click on your first year course placement. If you're required to take the PPA, it will say in your next steps portal, you have to contact this testing office to take your exam by June 28th. Now, for more information, please go ahead and visit our testing center's website, and we'll go ahead and put the link in the chat.
Perfect. Another question I see here is, what if my class schedule has changed from what I put on the application, or I received a D in the course? How would this influence my admissions? After you graduate, we will ask you to provide final transcripts by July 15th. We will evaluate your transcripts to verify that you have met the minimum A through G requirements and are still eligible for admissions. If you received a D in a course that is not part of the minimum A through G requirements and brings your GPA below the requirement, this could also cause a withdrawal of your provisional admission offer. If you received a D in a required A through G course, for example, your English course, please talk with your counselor about what options you have to make up that grade by your high school graduation date. You cannot use summer 2025 to meet fall 2025 admission requirements.
All right, another question says, what is the deadline for the reflection on college writing, and is it required? In regards to the reflection on college writing, this is required for all incoming first year students, regardless of any AP, IB, or CLEP exam scores or college coursework. You will be sent a link via my SJSU message in early May to complete this at least 2 weeks prior to your Sparta Camp orientation. If you do not complete it timely, you will not be able to enroll in an English course at your orientation.
The question I see here is, how do I change my major? Due to space limitations in programs and departments on campus, it is not possible to change your major at this time. Changing majors may be possible at a later time, but it is never guaranteed. Every major has a different required GPA and/or list of courses for you to complete in order for consideration. If you are interested in changing your major, you will need to meet with an academic advisor, the College Student Success Center for that program, to learn the requirements for that program. So you will know which courses to take, GPA to achieve, and complete the applications to change the major or minor form on time.
Let's see here. It says, how do AP, IB, or CLEP exams give college credit? So the credit value will vary based on the exam, and you can view our course catalog website to see the exact credit value per exam, or our testing website to see the credit for CLEP exams.
Another question I see here is, I forgot what day my orientation is. How do I find it? Log back into your next steps and be sure to save a copy of your confirmation. This will show you the Sparta Camp orientation date, where to meet, what to bring, and several pieces of important information to prepare you for your orientation. So once again, go back to your Next Steps website, the same way that you logged in the first time when you complete the intent to enroll process, and it will be on your confirmation that is on that website.
Says here, is Sparta Camp mandatory, and do we need to stay overnight? If so, where? So yes, Sparta Camp orientation is mandatory. If you arrive late, if you leave early, or if you do not attend, you will risk your admissions being withdrawn. During your overnight stay, you'll be staying in the dorms with a roommate assigned at orientation. If you have any questions or concerns specifically about your orientation date, please reach out to the email frosh-orientation@sjsu.edu.
Another question here is, when do I register for classes? You will register for your courses during your Sparta Camp orientation. Keep an eye out for any emails from your college's Student Success Center in regards to academic advising and how to prepare for choosing your classes.
right, it says here, how would a 504 plan work in SJSU? Now, for more information on this, please reach out to our Accessible Education Center at https or sjsu.edu/AEC for assistance.
Another question I see here is, how much is the enrollment fee? The enrollment deposit fee is $250 and must be paid by the intent to enroll deadline, or if you were eligible for the Cal State application fee waiver back when you applied to San Jose State and to the other CSUs and you got that fee waiver, then it will only be $180.
All right, let's see here. It says, how do I get a job on campus? So we actually have a website called Handshake, which you will get access to after you enroll in San Jose State University. And this will go ahead and show you all available jobs on campus, as well as some off-campus internships.
Another question is, will I be able to choose a minor after the freshman term school starts? If you are interested in adding a minor, you will need to meet with the advisor for that program to learn about the requirements. Typically, this will refer you to your SJSU GPA in coursework. Each program is different, but will require you to complete a change of major or minor form and the department to sign and approve this additional educational plan.
All right, let's says here, how do I send my transcript? So I would reach out to your school's registrar or your high school counselor for questions about how to send your transcripts. Now, please note, we must receive your official final transcripts by July 15th. Now, this includes any AP, IB, or CLEP exams passing scores and community college transcripts if you were dual enrolled. So please keep in mind that they must be sent in by July 15th, and it's a requirement for you to send these in as well. All right, so please keep that in mind.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and see if there's any other live Q&A questions here. I do see here, if you receive a D in a course which is not part of the ATG requirements, will your admissions be rescinded? So like we stated before, if that course is not part of the ATG requirements, but it will impact your GPA, that may also cause your withdrawal to be rescinded if it drops your GPA below a specific score, depending on your impaction or your major. A lot of our majors or all of our majors are impacted at San Jose State University, so they have their own impaction score that you must meet. If your GPA drops below a certain amount, that will impact your admissions.
All right, I don't see any other questions in the chat. All right, it says, I have enrolled for Spartan orientation. Does this mean I am committed to SJSU? Yes. But double check to make sure that you are. Log back into your Next Steps portal to make sure that you can actually see your receipt for registering for orientation and that you have paid your enrollment deposit. Please keep in mind that you will be required to bring that on your day of your orientation, because if you notice on the top part, there's a little barcode. That's what's actually going to be used to scan you in to make sure that you've actually attended. Again, orientation is mandatory. It's a 2-day, 1-night stay at San Jose State University. You will register for your classes on your second day of orientation. And again, you must stay for the entire time of orientation. If you do bring your families with you, parents or guardians, they do have an optional parent and family/guardian session for them specifically. So please go ahead and make sure that you do that as well. Ignacio, I see your question about completing your courses. That is going to be a more, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't speak today. It is going to be a more high level response. Just keep in mind that as a transfer student, you have to complete everything by the spring semester. We do not allow summer courses for the fall 2025. So just keep that in mind. But I think that's going to be a more larger conversation that we need to have. I'm going to pop my email in the chat to you directly. Send me an email and we'll be able to meet one-on-one specifically.
Perfect. I do have a question here, Arnav. How do I find out the impaction score for my major? So in order to view the impaction score, there's all public information. You will go to sjsu.edu/impaction admissions. On there, there's going to be an option where it says freshman or freshman requirements. You will click on that and click on Impaction at the bottom. There, you will show you the Impaction formula that our evaluators use to view the Impaction score, and as well as the Impaction scores for the fall of 2025 that students needed to have to be admitted into those programs. You can also go to calstate.edu to view the GPA calculator, so you can input your A through G courses that you have taken on there, and you can get your A through G GPA to calculate it yourself.
Another question I see here is, do you take the PPA at the freshman orientation? No, you have to take your PPA or let's backtrack. You must register for your BPA and take it by June 28th. So this is before orientation starts, if I'm not mistaken. So again, please make sure that you take the PPA if you need to by June 28th. It's important that you do this for your overall major and for SJSU specifically.
Another question I see here is, how do I find out if my major needs me to take the PPA? So that will be all dependent. It will be if you need to take the PPA, it will be after you complete the intent to enroll process. You will also get a message on your My SJSU. Typically, major-based programs like engineering, all of our engineering concentrations do require that calculus class, computer science. I don't know about data science or computer science and linguistics, but generally it is computer science and engineering programs. But you will know once you complete that intent to enroll process, there will be a message sent to you and also on that page as well.
All right, Santi, I think that's it when it comes to questions. So we're gonna go ahead and end it a little. Oh, it says, so if I don't get an email, does this mean I don't have to take the PPA? So again, let's just clarify about the PPA. Calculus-based majors, which expect students to be calculus ready or taking Calculus 1 the first semester, require students to complete the pre-calculus proficiency assessment. To see which majors require this, go ahead and visit the website sjsu.edu/supported instruction. I will go ahead and link that in the chat for y'all so that y'all can check if you need to take the PPA. And again, if you are required to take the PPA, please make sure that you take it by June 28th.
Another question I see here before we go is, does passing an AP Calculus score exam mean that I don't have to take the PPA? Yeah, so there are certain exceptions to the PPA, and that are going to be if you get an AP Calculus score in a AP Calculus AB or BC and score of 3 or higher. So make sure you have taken that AP Calculus AB or BC test and gotten a 3 or higher, and that will exempt you from taking the PPA exam. There are other two exceptions, like the community college or university level pre-calculus or calculus course grade of C- or better, or the CLEP pre-calculus or calculus score of 50 or higher. If you have any of these exceptions, you will need to go ahead and send those transcripts over to the testing-office@sjsu.edu.
Right, I think that's it. All right, folks, I wish you all a very good night. Again, a recording of this presentation can be found on our website. Today is the last day that we'll be hosting this workshop, but you can always go back on our website and double check to see, or go back to the video and see if you missed anything, or if you just want to double check something. We're here to support you all, so please keep in mind when it comes to specifically reaching out to us. We're here for you. We're here to support you. And please keep in mind that deadline of May 1st when committing to San Jose State University. Thank you all. Have a great night. Go Spartans.